Good evening, everyone. It is Tuesday, but we are doing live at 5 on Tuesday because I kind of figured that since tomorrow is New Year's Eve, nobody wants to do it on New Year's Eve. So I moved everything to Tuesday. I moved live at 5 and I moved drop at the mall right after live at 5. So I'm going to wait a few minutes for people to jump on. We had a lot of people register, 22 people registered for this. So obviously this is a training that is needed. Okay, I am live. Let me know if you are tuning in for the first time or you're not tuning in for the first time. Let me know where you're from. Let me know if you don't know what your profits are. So if you do not know what your profit margins are in your cleaning business, say, don't know what my margins are. I am going to rip the band-aid off tonight and talk about that because I am finding as I go through and as I help people and I consult people and coach people that 99% of you don't know what your profit margins are. So that's why I'm doing this tonight. So I'm going to wait a few minutes. I'm looking on my phone to take a look. Um, Let me know. Sometimes it tells me people are on, sometimes it doesn't tell me who's on. So I'm going to start. For those of you that don't know me, my name is Cheryl Hasher. I'm a cleaning industry coach. I'm a consultant. The founder of Sisters Who Scale, which is this group. I also own a real brick and mortar cleaning company called Maybright Cleaning. I'm in the Boston area. I'm still active in it. I didn't start with investors. I didn't inherit a business. I didn't buy a business. I didn't buy a client list. I built it from the ground up. I started solo, like many of you, just me, a mop, and a very stubborn belief that this industry could pay better than I was getting paid at my job, right? And I was right, okay? So fast forward, now my company has grown to over 850,000 a year, climbing. We built it 100% organically. I say we because my husband is now involved, right? And he's amazing. And you'll get to see him from time to time. He pops in. So, no paid ads, no shortcuts, no overnight success, just grit, systems, and doing the right things and not the easy ones, right? You're going to do hard stuff. So, let me be clear, and I can't see anyone, so Facebook just doesn't tell me who's on and who's not on. So I'm hoping, people are seeing this. So if you're on, let me know that you're on. I'm just gonna check something real quick here. See, yep. I see one person. So people kind of jump on when they can. You can also watch this on the replay as well. So if you're here hoping for a shortcut, you're not going to get it, right? There's no magic script or someone to tell you how amazing you are for just showing up. That's not me. But if you want to, hi Heather, if you want to know how to build a profitable, respectable, scalable cleaning company or one that attracts better clients, pays better staff, and doesn't trap you in the field forever, pull your chair in. You're exactly where you should be. Okay, so tonight's training is about profits, not revenue. You can't keep the gross numbers, right? The real money that stays in your bank account. Because right now, some of you are doing things that could quietly bankrupt your business and you don't even know it yet, right? So I'm going to show you what's killing your profits right now, what needs fixing immediately, and how to stop racing other owners to the bottom of the pricing dumpster fire, which is what's happening in some of your businesses, right? Spoiler alert, the cheapest companies never win. They just burn out quicker, right? I'm wondering if people are thinking it's actually tomorrow and not tonight. I'm wondering if that's happening. So the first pain point is race to the bottom, which is competing on price. So if you're doing this, congratulations, you have officially entered the Hunger Games of cleaning, right? So when you slash prices to beat the competition, what you're really saying is, please choose me, I'm cheaper, not better, right? And who does it attract? The worst clients, the nitpickers, the boundary pushers, the ones who disappear over $10 of a difference in price, right? They complain, they pay late, they have zero loyalty, right? and they replace you the second someone undercuts you. Meanwhile, you're stuck defending why you charge so little, which doesn't scream confidence at all. It screams desperation. And desperation businesses don't scale, right? Desperate businesses do not scale. All right, we got 3 on. If you're here, say hi. I usually don't do it Tuesday night, but because of New Year's Eve, I'm obviously not doing it tomorrow night. So here's the truth that no one wants to say, right? You didn't build a business, you build the world's most exhausting job. When you're charging cheap prices, right? And if nothing changes, it doesn't magically get better. It actually gets heavier, right? It actually gets heavier. So nothing says thriving business like holding your breath before checking a bank account, right? So that is not the way you have a thriving business, okay? Underpricing creates very unpredictable income. One month it feels okay. The next month it feels terrifying. You're stuck in survival mode and you can't scale or think clearly from survival mode. So let's talk about the most dangerous lie in the cleaning industry is when you think you're profitable because money is coming in, but the gross revenue is not a real number, right? It's a highlighted reel. Profit is what's left after reality hits. And most owners never look at reality, right? When you say to yourself, but Cheryl, I'm making money. No, you're collecting money. That money hasn't paid, right? It hasn't paid payroll and payroll taxes, supplies, gas, vehicles, insurance, software, admin time, and definitely not you. So you feel good for 5 minutes, but you're broke by Friday after everything's been paid out. Why? Because you're not bringing in enough profit. So that's not profit. That is an illusion. Your gross number is a fake number. Okay, it's a real number, but it's a fake number because you have to have all your expenses covered, right? So by the time your labor, your taxes, your drive time, supplies, and admin are all accounted for, maybe you made $15, $20, if that. And if you don't know your labor percentage, which is so important, which is one of the things I teach, your business isn't broken, it's just unguarded, right? So the truth about owner pay is you don't underpay yourself because you're disciplined. You underpay yourself because the business can't afford you. So you say, I'll pay myself later, right? Or this is just a season, or it's a slow season, or it's January or February. But what happens is that's what happens is that's when resentment kicks in. So here's the real danger. The profit illusion keeps you working harder instead of fixing the math, okay? You add clients, you add staff, okay? You add hours to the schedule, but none of it works if the pricing is wrong. You can be fully booked and still go broke, right? Why would you want to do that? So my story, when I was forced out of the field, some of you know, I had a back injury that forced me to stop cleaning. So it took me out, right? It took me out. I didn't get the luxury to decide when I was getting out of the field. My back injury took me out, which I do not wish on any of you, okay? But I saw the truth at that moment. Some clients were costing me actual money, right? So that's when the profit showed up, not because I worked harder, because I stopped lying to myself, right? I was forced to look at my numbers. Otherwise, I wasn't going to make a paycheck for myself, right? I wasn't able to, trade time for money and go do the work. So if you don't fix this, your growth is going to feel heavier, not freer, because you're still going to have a profit problem. If you don't fix the profit problem, no matter how many clients you add, you're still going to have the same issue because you're not bringing in enough money to pay all the expenses, right? Every year gets harder, right? Every year gets harder. But when you fix it, you get to keep what you earn, right? This isn't greed. This is survival. This is making money. You're in business to make money, right? But you have to break that profit illusion, which is the gross number that's coming in, okay? Because if you don't fix that, eventually the business is going to break you and you're going to be burned out and exhausted and you're going to say, what the hell am I doing this for? That's what's happening, right? So what's the cost of getting this wrong? So the short term is you're making less than you need to pay your bills. You're stressed all the time. You rush jobs just to survive. Has anyone rushed jobs to survive? I have, just to make enough money, right? And employees leave because you can't afford to pay them properly, right? You can't afford to pay them properly. Long term, you brand your company as cheap, right? So you're going to repel premium clients. Some people will pay extra money because they want premium service. That's where you want to be, right? You won't be able to invest, and eventually the business is going to collapse. And I don't say that to scare you. I say that to help you fix what's happening. So on a personal cost, you're stuck cleaning because you're not bringing in enough profit to pay yourself. So you actually have to go out and clean and trade your time for money, right? You miss family time. You're constantly stressed about money. No retirement plan, right? You can't see the end of the tunnel. You just think you're going to keep working. Guess what? If your business takes you out like it took me out, that's not going to happen. That's not going to happen, right? I don't want you to feel trapped in the very business that you started to build for freedom, right? So how do you fix this? Let's talk about the fix here. Let's talk about the fix. So you need to stop selling cleaning and start selling relief. Find the pain point. Your clients don't care about the mop, right? They care about the peace of mind. They care about the time back. They care about having a calm home when they walk into it, not feeling overwhelmed, right? You don't want to think of yourself as a cleaner. You want to think of yourself as a life improver. So once you understand that, pricing stops being about minutes. It starts being about value, about creating value in your business. All right. So that's number one. Number two, you need to know your numbers, like really know your numbers, right? Labor, taxes, supplies, vehicles, if you have any, admin time, profit margins. Most owners don't actually know their numbers, and it's why they're broke, right? And yes, I will say it. I say this over and over again. I have discovered in all of my years of consulting is that women avoid numbers. They don't want to look at the numbers because the numbers scare them to death, right? Anyone else? Anyone else here? If you're watching it live or if you're watching it on replay, anyone else here afraid of numbers? If you're afraid of looking at your numbers, say afraid of numbers. I want to see. Say afraid of numbers. I want to know. Just be honest, right? If you're honest, you can fix the problem, right? But the math doesn't lie. Math is black and white. It doesn't lie. And ignoring it just makes the damage bigger, right? Number three, getting confident in pricing. Apologize for your prices. Anyone ever apologize? Or anyone ever, oh, you know what? I can do it for a little cheaper. Right? Discount immediately. Panic when someone hesitates. You can feel that. That's fear talking. That's not strategy, right? So when you believe in your value, the clients feel it. The confidence converts, right? Totally. Number four, learn how to build your business organically. Organically. That's the main thing that I teach, and systems and managing people and things like that. But when it comes to growing client base, organically. No ads, no Google, no website for years. We've built our company 100% organically. Just reputation, value, referrals, networking, and community trust. Community trust is built in your organic message to the people out there. So if you're spending, some people are spending $2,000 a month. I've even seen $5,000, $6,000 a month on ads and still struggling. That's not growth. That's a leak, right? That's a money drain, right? So here's a fact. Ad leads haggle 70% more than organic ones. Think about that for a second. You run an ad and they're trying to beat you down on price, right? Why? Because the trust wasn't built. The trust was bought. And that's a big difference. Is this making sense, everyone? So Anyone have any questions? I know that we had 22 people register, but I'm thinking that everyone thinks it's on Wednesday, which I would never do a live at 5 on New Year's Eve because people are doing things and people might be half in the bag by the time I do by the time I do the New Year's Eve, right? At 5 o'clock. So the real question is, are you gonna keep going the way you're going, right? The way that keeps you exhausted, underpaid, and second guessing every decision? Or will you finally fix this before another year disappears? 2026 is in how many days? Today's the 30th. 2026 is in 2 days, right? Well, let me be clear. The decisions you make in the next 30 days will absolutely and can absolutely shape the next 5 years in this business, right? So, what I know for a fact is that most cleaning business owners don't fail because they're lazy. They don't fail because they don't care. They fail because no one ever showed them how to fix their pricing, fix their profit margins, and fix their systems the right way so their business blows up, right? Their business blows up. That's exactly what I do. I can't even talk today. I've had owners come to me completely exhausted, undercharging, convinced me and themselves that they were bad at business, right? And within months, they raised their prices. They were scared to do it. They raised their prices. They kept their clients. They stopped cleaning every day. They started paying themselves consistently and they finally saw a profit in their bank account, right? Ask Amanda Ellis from Tennessee. She just graduated from Drop Them Up and just joined Sisters Elite, which is the mastermind program, which because she's smart and she knows. Amanda quadrupled her income in 6 months. She went from 3,000 a month to 12 grand a month. That's a massive jump, right? That's how much is that? Eight. She grew $8,000. She hired her first 3 people. She's starting to clean less, right? She's coming out of the gate. She's starting to clean less. She's not cleaning, 5 days a week. That's massive. Jessica Graham, same thing. Just graduated, dropped the mop. She just joined Sisters Elite, the mastermind program. She just hit 20K in December. Last year, before we started working together, she was at 9K a month. She has no problem hiring people, firing people, training people. And her next goal, even though she doesn't know it yet, is about 30 to 35,000 a month. That's her next goal. So she's gonna do it because she shows up, she does the work, she believes in herself, she raises the prices, right? And she invests in herself, right? So nothing changes because of motivation. It changes because of systems, because of clarity, and because of confidence. So if you're sitting here thinking, I know I need to fix my profit margins, but I don't know how, or I'm afraid to mess it up, or I think my clients can cancel. Good. This training is exactly who this is for. Because staying where you are is actually riskier than making changes, right? I'm not here to hype you up. I'm here to help you build something that lasts. So if you'd like to know what it would be like to work with me, type Drop Them Up. I have an onboarding cohort coming up in January. I'm going to be onboarding another 10 new students coming up mid-January. If you are interested in getting on that wait list or starting right away, because I do have a couple of openings right now, type Drop Them Up. I'll reach out. We'll schedule a strategy call and see if we're fit to work together. I don't work with everyone. I work with the people that really want it, that are motivated. I don't work with the people that question every 9 million things. I am looking for people to come work with me that know they can build, that are ready to build, that will do what it takes, that will not be stuck in analysis paralysis, because that's not going to get you anywhere, and that will roll up the sleeves and really come to work, come to classes, do the homework, ask me questions, and really grow. Those are the people that do the best, right? So if that is you, type Drop Them Up and I will reach out. If you are in Drop Them Up, I will be starting in 10 minutes a class. Usually it's Thursday night. This is a screwy week. I switched the live at 5 to Tuesday just because I know no one would want to do it on New Year's Eve. And then New Year's Day is a holiday, so I switched to Drop Them Up. till tonight. So for all you that are in the class, I will see you. If you liked what you heard here and would like to hear more free trainings, I do have a YouTube channel. You can find the YouTube channel at Sisters Who Scale. If you find that, actually, I'll post it in here. You can subscribe and you can get notified when I get new trainings. I do a training every week in the Facebook group, and I will be starting to do them in YouTube as well first of the year. So look out for that. And if I don't see any of you all, have a happy new year. See you in 2026, and let's get ready to kick some butt in your cleaning businesses. All right, see you all later. Bye.